What's up guys, it's MJ Gamer, and today in this video I'm gonna be ranking all of the different items in Roblox stores. So without ado, let's get into this. First up, I have the alarm clock, and honestly, this item sucks. You can use this in like 4 rooms only, and I never personally use it. So I'm gonna be putting it in D tier. Next up, I have the bandage pack, which is a really useful item because you can store bandages in it, so I think it should go in A tier. It's not good enough to go into S tier, but it's not bad enough to be in B, C, D, or even F. Next up, we have the battery counterpart being the battery pack. I think this is an alright item. It can hold about 4 batteries, which I think it should be able to hold at least a couple more. But it should be an A tier, but not above the bandage pack. Next up, we have the strap light, and I do not like this item. No one actually uses this item except for one thing, to get the Gloombat crucifixion badge. That's basically the only thing you can use this for, other than, well, being a light. This is literally one of the worst light sources in the game, so that's why I think it should go in C tier. Next up, we have the bread, which is a mediocre healing item, which isn't super good, but it's not super bad, so I say it should go in C tier. Next up, we have one of the best items in the game, being the Starlight Bottle, which you can tank an entire rush hit with. It can heal the players for about 50 HP, so technically it's not better than a full bandage pack, but since it can give you overheal, that gives it an easy S tier. Next up, we have the candle, which is useless if you don't have another item on this list, being the lighter. Without the lighter, you can't even light the candle, and it's such a bad light source, maybe even worse than the strap light. So that's why I think the candle should go in C tier. Now we have an iconic item for the game, being the flashlight, and this is the baseline for a light source. It is not as good as some other ones I'll talk about, but it is definitely better than the candle and the strap light by a long shot. So I think it should go in A tier, above the battery pack but below the bandage pack. Next up, we have the cheese, which is basically the exact same as bread, but it's cheese, so it automatically gets a higher placement in C tier. Next up on the list, we have the glow sticks, which is a pretty mediocre item, as I've been saying for a lot of the items. You can hold up to 10 of these, and these are pretty useful for the nest since you can just plant them around the place and kind of use them as waypoints. Do I think it's as good as batteries and the flashlight? No, but it is, in my opinion, better than the strap light, so I think it should go in B tier. Next up, we have the green soda, which turns you green and heals a decent amount of health. I personally don't find the green filter that bad, but some people do. But in my opinion, it's an okay healing item, so I think it should go in B tier. Next up, we have one of my favorite light sources in the game, being the bulk light. This is basically a stronger version of the normal flashlight. It can go on for about 2 minutes, which makes it pretty good, but it eats up a lot of batteries. But I do find it better than the flashlight and the bandage pack, so I'm gonna put it in S tier. Next up, we have the lighter, which I would say is an okay lighting source. It is 100% not as good as the flashlight, not worse than the strap light, so it's gonna go in B tier, above the green soda but lower than the glow sticks. Now we have the lockpicks, which are a very useful item. You can use them to unlock chests and lock lockers, which usually have a good amount of loot in them. I do think they're a little scarce in the mines, but they are a very useful item, so they're gonna go in A tier, above the battery pack. Now we have the shake light, which is the flashlight for the rooms. It is one of the many lighting sources in the game, but the weird thing about it is that it has infinite battery. All you have to do is click it and it will regenerate its battery on its own. The only flaw about it though is that it's pretty loud and can be distracting when you're trying to listen to A120 and A60 in the rooms. But I do still think it's a pretty good light source, so I'm gonna put it in the top of B tier. Now we got the vitamins, which give you a short speed boost, and it can be really useful when you're trying to get away from something really quick. For example, if you don't have a hiding spot, you can use it to get to one faster. You can even use them if you mess up in the seek chase and have to go even faster to outrun him. I do think this is better than the battery pack and the lockpicks, but not as good as the normal flashlight. So this is gonna be an A tier. Next up, we have the laser pointer, which I used to think was a horrible item and probably would have put it in D tier. But now I see it as a slightly better lighting tool. It emits a small red light and is one of the only lights in the game that doesn't attract gloom bats. You can even burn Giggle's eyes by pointing the laser pointer at them. So I think it should go in B tier above the green soda. Now we have the moonlight float, which is just a better version than another item on this list. It heals a whopping 100 HP and shows you where items are like books and even entities like figure are. This makes door 50 and door 100 extremely easy since you basically have X-ray. So I think it's good enough to be right under the flashlight in A tier. Now we have one of the faces of the game, being the crucifix, which you can use to banish or stun entities. This might be one of, if not the most useful item in the game, so it easily gets itself a spot in the top of S tier for now. After that, we have the moonlight candle, which is just a better version than the normal candle in every way possible. You get this by putting the regular candle in the rift. It is better because it has a brighter light, infinite durability, doesn't have to be lighted, and deactivates whenever an entity is coming. So that's why I think the moonlight candle should get itself a spot in S tier. Now we have the starlight jug, which in my opinion is in top 3 most OP items in the game. You get this by beating A1000, and it might return in the archives, but we don't fully know. This, like many other items on the list, is a better version than another item. The starlight jug can heal 100 HP, which can be converted into overheal if you're already at max HP, and gives an almost 2-minute long speed boost. It even makes yourself brighter so you can see in dark places. And to top it off, it has 4 uses. That means you'd be able to tank at least 4 rush hits. So this is why the starlight jug is easily an S tier item, even above the crucifix. Next up, I have the shears. The shears are used for a multitude of reasons, these ranging from opening vine-covered chests to even opening doors, which are covered in vines. Chests that are covered in shears usually have a lot of overpowered loot, having some items that are in S tier and A tier. This makes me think that the shears should go in A tier, above any other item in that tier. Now I've got the skeleton key, which has 3 main uses. These are getting the Herba Viridis inside of the hotel, unlocking access to subfloors like the outdoors and rooms, and finally being able to open rift rooms, which are basically midway checkpoints if you want to save an item. I also forgot to mention that this can be used in anywhere lockpick can. So it can open locked doors and even lock chests. And to top it off, it has 5 uses. So this is why the skeleton key should go in S tier, above the moonlight candle. Next up, I have the smoothie, which is a mediocre healing item, which in my opinion should go in about B tier, above the green soda. Now you can see I have the starlight vial as our next item. This heals 25 health, which can be converted into overheal, as can the other starlight items. This will allow you to tank a blitz hit, and you can hold 5 at once. It's not the greatest healing item, but it is an okay one, so I think it should go in B tier right below the shake light. Now we have Jeff's tip jar, which can be found in one spot in the game, being the rift room, specifically the abandoned Jeff's shop one. This item does absolutely nothing, so it's the first F tier on this list. Now I have the rift jar, which can be thrown to open a rift where you can put your items in mid-run. This is basically just a rift room in a jar, hence its name being rift in a jar. I personally never used this item before, but it seems like an okay item, so I'll put it in the bottom of B tier. Next up we have the Dallo, which can heal 100 health. This is a good healing item, but not one of the best, so that's where I'm gonna put it in A tier right below lockpicks. Entering the final 4 items on this list, we have the compass. It can show you where the next door is, but it is kind of useless. Its main functionality is to point you to the next door, which is mainly only useful in dupe rooms and if you're not good at eye stalk chase. So that's why I think it should go in the top of C tier. The lantern is a pretty bare bones light source, which has a lot of durability and is very common to find in the outdoors. So this is why I'd put it in the bottom of B tier. Starting off our final 2 is the multi-tool. As the name suggests, it's a combination of different tools. It is a combination of the lockpicks and the shears. This item has 20 uses. The only thing about it is it's a pretty rare item and usually doesn't come at full durability. But even though that is the case, it is still one of the best items in the game, so that's why it goes straight into S tier. Finally, we have the lotus flower. This allows you to save at any point in the game. This could be at door 1 in the hotel or A1000 in the rooms. It's basically a checkpoint, and whenever you die, you can teleport back to it by using the use lotus button. So the lotus flower, in my opinion, is the second best item in the entire game. So this is the finished tier list. Comment down below what changes you'd make to it, subscribe, and see you guys next time. Goodbye!